Check 1 2 3, test 1 2, check 1 2 3, test 1 2. And good evening and welcome to Horsburgh Gymnasium on the campus of Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio for today's game, the season opener for Case Western Reserve University, as they'll be taking on the Albion Britons today here in Cleveland. I'm John Schwartz, alongside me Alex Gould. Alex, always good to get the basketball season going, and for Case Western Reserve, coming off of a 12-13 season last year, they'll have a major piece to replace in TJ Duckett on the team this year.
Yes, very true. That being said, it's very exciting to look at the different pieces that can fill that gap. The freshman class is huge and it is deep this year. That being said, it's going to be hard to fill the gap in terms of how strong he was at rebounding and defense. So hopefully the shooting can lead the way and the rebounding and defense can follow. Let's also hope that there are two new assistant coaches on Case Western. Mike Fitzpatrick was just hired from Susquehanna College, where he coached last year, and TJ Duckett himself, now that he graduated, is an assistant coach. So hopefully they instilled some of those rebounding and defensive pieces.
For sure, and TJ Duckett, who was, as you mentioned, such a big piece, that's one of the emphasis is that coach, that's a tough word there, that Coach McGinnis had before the season started. He said, listen, if we can rebound, if we can play defense, that's going to be the difference in the season. We can score, and we know that under Coach McGinnis, this has been a team that shoots a lot of threes, and certainly will look to be the case again this year. Let's go ahead and get you starting lineups for the two teams, beginning with Case Western Reserve, and right off the bat, we have a freshman point guard starting today with Mike Volkening a little banged up right now. It'll be James Bittner, the freshman. High expectations for Bittner. Ignas Masiulionis, who was an all-conference honorable mention last year in the starting lineup once again. Connor Nally, a big X factor for this team, good rebounder and a good shooter as well. Sam Hansen, defensive expert for this team and has played very well over his time, can shoot as well. And then Michael Hollis, kind of the Swiss Army knife of the squad as well, and he will be the fifth starter. For Albion, it'll be M.J. Barnes, James L. Davis Jr., Jalen Fordham, Jawan Perry, and Caden Ebeling. Ebeling in the center to tip against Nally, and the 2018-19 season is underway. Tip is won back and taken by Davis. Davis, a dangerous player. The sophomore guard drives in, pops a shot, no good. Rebound pulled in by Connor Nally, and a good early start there. Quickly down the court come the Spartans. Bittner on the outside. Gives off to Masiulionis, and they're not going to give him any room to take a shot. Bittner will reset on the outside as the freshman takes possession. The outside is Masiulionis again, defended closely, has a little bit of room, gives up to Bittner. Bittner back into the middle. That's Hollis. Little jumper is good for 2-0. Case Western Reserve on top.
That was some excellent passing on the play. Great ball movement to eventually get the easy shot inside.
Yep, and you can see no secrets anymore. Everyone knows who Ignas Masiulionis is. The jumper is good for Barnes. The defense on Masiulionis was so tight they were not going to give him any space to shoot along that perimeter. Now this will be Bittner again on the near side. Nally back out to Hansen. Hansen into the middle. That's Hollis at the key. Back to the far side. There's the three from Masiulionis, and nothing but net as he launches the arrow in celebration.
He can make a shot from anywhere. Incredible shot there for his first points of the season.
So 5-2 now, Case Western Reserve on top. To the inside, that's Ebeling. Back to the outside. Fordham takes it. Now a three-pointer on the way, no good, misses everything. Hollis with the rebound.
Case Western got lucky there, though. That was an open shot.
Bittner looks over at the sideline. Again, the freshman getting the start today, one of the highly touted freshman class here for Case Western Reserve. Hollis on the outside, a little trouble handling it, but plenty of space to work with. This will be Nally from the wing, no good. Long rebound secured on the far side by Barnes. 2 minutes in, 5-2 the score. Jumper is up, no good. Masiulionis fighting for the rebound. Stepped out of bounds, but they'll say it's Case Western Reserve ball. And a good showing there of what Masiulionis could do. Actually, they call a foul there, and that will go on Ebeling. But that shows what Masiulionis can do. Not a ton of size for Masiulionis, but they're battling up against the center for a rebound.
He fought for that, and that is impressive. Usually shooters don't always fight for those boards. Great job on that play there.
Again, something that Coach McGinnis said, rebounding and defense key for this team is Hansen with the three, and that's good. The Mason, Ohio product in his third year on the team. Stolen off the inbound. Masiulionis is up, no good, but he'll go to the line to shoot two.
We have seen some fast-paced basketball so far. Exciting, lots of scoring, as expected.
And the full court press being put on by the Spartans, and right now, no real answer for that for Albion.
I think a piece of it is Corey Wheeler, their star from last year and leading scorer. He's graduated now. Maybe they're having trouble replacing his scoring.
First free throw is good for Matthew Leonis, and it is a 9-2 lead here now for Case Western Reserve. The Spartans dominating the early portion of this game. Second free throw is up. That's good as well. So some early scoring for Matthew Leonis. He has 5 points on the day, including a 3 in those 2 free throws.
This is
again having trouble breaking the press. And it's thrown out. And possession will stay with Albion. Attempt to save it there. Hansen tried to box out the defender, tried to keep possession going with the Spartans there, but couldn't quite get to it.
Even so, an excellent defensive play. Great job executing that full court press.
And that's been impressive so far here. It's certainly flustered the Britons, to say the least.
Absolutely.
Now driving is Fordham. His shot is up and good. So 10-4 the score is Fordham able to break into the interior. This is Bittner again. Bittner driving, loses the handle, and it is Britain basketball.
You could see him looking for the open man on that one. Sometimes hard to think about seeing the open man and also driving to the hoop and keeping possession of the ball.
First sub of the game here, this will be Antonio Ionati coming in. Ionati comes in for Bittner, and let's see who runs the point now for Case Western Reserve. We saw Ionati run a little bit of point guard last year for the team, but certainly I think his strength more is a shooting guard. This is a team out on the floor right now that can shoot. You have 5 positions that can all knock down threes out there, including the center currently, and Hollis. As that went to the interior, laid in and good. That was Jawan Perry, the sophomore guard for Albion. Iggy thought about popping the 3, tries to get to the inside, and the pass turned over.
That's 2 sloppy plays in a row for Case Western. Got to make sure that they hold on to that early lead.
It's 10-6 now, so this gets a little bit closer as Nally checks out, and we will see Ryan Newton check into the game. And Newton out of St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, Elk County Catholic, one of the highly regarded freshmen here. As that one's stolen away by Hansen. To the far side, Ionati has to jump to keep that one going. Now into Newton. Newton turns, a little hook shot is up short. Gets his own rebound. Nice pass into Hollis, who lays it in for 2. So Hollis able to make it happen there. And some good heads-up play by Newton. It's a 2-on-1. Newton defending and gets called for the foul.
The trap isn't, they're definitely using the trap a lot, the Spartans, so far. Sometimes paying off, sometimes not. Sometimes going to have some easy shots inside.
Well, and that was a opportunity where Albion maybe showing some signs of starting to break the full court press there.
Very true.
Get another substitution here, and this will be another freshman. Jack Vasilani will check into the game for against Matthew Leonis. Vasilani getting his first shot at collegiate basketball here, and likely will move into that point guard position. Ionati will slide over to the 2 guard as the first free throw is up and good. Knocked down by Perry, who has 3 points. 15:58 to play in the opening half of the game. Opening game of the year. Second one good as well. 12-8 now the score. On the outside now, this is Ionati. Swings it far. Hollis. Hollis into Newton on the interior. Step back jumper bounces loose.
He's had some trouble today sinking some shots, but has to keep on putting them up. Hopefully he'll get the hot hand soon.
Well, some freshman jitters maybe there for Newton. Who
Very true.
Put out there. Nice pass off.
That was fantastic ball movement on that play. And eventually it looks like Ebling put it in for his first points of the season.
And a nice pass there by Perry, who is starting to make his presence felt in the game. On the outside, Hansen. Hansen to Ionati. Ionati moves towards the top of the key. Back over to Hollis. Under the hoop, that's Newton. Maybe a little gun shy there. Gets passed out. Ball taken away on the breakaway. Shot is up, no good, but a foul.
Very
Go
interesting.
against Hollis there on the one-on-one breakaway.
Could have been an easy bucket inside on that one. Interesting. Maybe lost a bit of confidence, as you said.
Yeah, I think Newton there gets a little gun shy. And again, it's part of the learning the game as a young player.
Yeah. You're right about that one.
This will send Davis to the line. His first one is up and good. And all of a sudden, we're back to a one-point game, a chance to tie it here.
Yeah.
Big man will check in for Albion College. Ryan Lowe, all 6'11", 315 pounds of him. Be a tough guy to handle down low. Second free throw is good as well. We're all even at 12 apiece. Brady Flynn into the game for Case Western Reserve. And Robert Fowler checks in as well. So 4 freshmen out on the court right now for Case Western Reserve. 4 freshmen and a sophomore.
That's what we said, a deep and talented freshman class for the Spartans.
Newton on the outside, 3-point attempt. That one's off the backboard. And the rebound pulled in by Arshawn Parker. On the outside. Now driving in. Kick back out. 3-pointer on the way, and that's no good. Rebound. Secured by Ionati, but a foul called on the play. And it will go against Jawan Perry.
That was interesting on that play. The Britons were clearly trying to communicate, but very poor ball movement, could not get an open shot, really forced a bad 3-pointer there.
So tie ball game, 12-12, 14-13 to play. Almost to travel. Instead, Newton gets it, takes the 3, and the freshman gets back on track with that one. The first points of what certainly we hope to be many for his collegiate career. A 3-pointer, and that gives Case Western Reserve the 3-point lead, 15-12. In the interior, and that's good. Lowe knocks it down.
6'11", powerhouse, finding a way to score inside.
Well, that is going to be a size mismatch all game long.
Yes, that is very true. The Spartans only have 1 player who's over 6'10", and only 3 who are 6'6" or taller.
Newton missed that one. Back down the other way, into the middle again, and that's good.
They keep on feeding it. They keep on feeding it to Ryan Lowe because they know he can't be stopped. It's interesting. Maybe Case Western should consider putting in Zach Johnson because he's 6'10", the tallest player on the team.
Shot there by Ionati, a 3-pointer no good, 16-15. Layup no good. Newton comes up court with it quickly. Into the paint is Fowler, and they'll call an offensive foul. So Fowler gets called for the foul. Got a couple subs coming in here for Case Western Reserve. It'll be Masiulionis, Nally, and Bittner back into the game, joining Flynn and Fowler out on the court.
The starting 5 give the Spartans an early lead. I think they want to go back to that core because now they are down 1.
Masiulionis got off to a nice start. First lead of the game here for Albion. They're up by 1, 16-15 with 13 minutes to play.
Motion!
Pressure clearly affecting this offense from the Britons.
Back door!
Trying to direct the offense, that's Nathaniel Collins, and he loses possession. Back to Case Western Reserve, up court quickly. Spartans have been running it here today. That's Masiulionis. Now the near side, that's Nally. Back out to Masiulionis, open 3, no good. And the turnover back to Case Western Reserve. Hansen checks back into the game. So 4 of the 5 starters back in. The only exception is Michael Hollis. Into Masiulionis. Nice pass into Flynn. Flynn back to the outside. 3-pointer on the way. That's Hansen. It's good. Second 3-pointer of the game for Sam Hansen. He has 6 points. And Case Western Reserve University back on top by 2. 18-16 the score. And that one goes out.
Another turnover by the Britons on that one. Meanwhile, the Spartans trying to really starting to find their rhythm. Great passing and great shooting. That's their trademark. They've been doing it so far today.
It's 5 turnovers now for the Britons. Hollis gives off to Massiulionis, drives the baseline, now back to the outside. Chance here for Bittner is short and out of bounds. Well, I think early on what you're seeing with Case Western Reserve in this situation is some of the young players still trying to get their feet underneath them here while some of the veterans have played fairly well.
Very true. Obviously, it's going to take time as a freshman, first game at the collegiate level. That being said, it's interesting to see that they're still trying to put up those shots, and they're not shying away from the moment. It'll come. The time will come when they'll be able to sink those consistently, I'm sure.
Open shot there, passed up, instead dribbling in and missing the rim, as that will go out of bounds and possession stays with Albion. Flynn was a little slow to get over there. I think he thought the last touch was going to be against Albion there.
Yeah.
And had a chance to go pull that one in, but just laid off of it instead. Pass in long. It's Ebeling. Now the three-pointer on the way, no good. Tipped around and out of bounds. And again, ball stays with Albion.
And this was a problem going into the year. The coaches were curious on if Case Western could consistently get those boards.
Well, and especially now without Michael Hollis in there, who's your starting 5, let's say, if he's not a true center. He's one of your top rebounders and your top returning rebounder for next year. The team struggled a little bit to get these rebounds.
Very true.
Well, there, Bittner able to pull that one in.
Only 6 feet tall, but really fought for that one.
And again, keep in mind last year with TJ Duckett in the lineup, Duckett was a guy who was able to pull in a lot of boards, averaged over 10 a game.
Yeah, last year he actually had the second most boards in a single season by any Spartan player ever, so he really dominated the glass.
Out to the outside, that's Massiulionis for 3, and it's good.
With the little celebration, you can tell he's confident.
Iggy has a little bit of flashed his game. And they're knocking down the 3. It's back to a 5-point lead. And there's a foul on the play. Zachary Winston will head to the line. Foul goes against Connor Nally. That'll be his first.
You do have to wonder a bit if Case Western's almost playing a little bit too aggressively on the defensive end. It's resulting in some open shots and some fouls.
Yep. I think, part of the game plan for the team this year is because they have a little bit of a deeper roster, they can play a little bit more aggressively. And it's something that Coach McGinnis said was that, hey, I used to look down the side of my bench and I try to figure out, well, which guy can I put in here? We're in a little bit of foul trouble. Now he looks down his bench and he sees 18 guys who could all play.
Very fair point.
And keep in mind today, too, they're missing 2 guys who figure to be key players as the year goes on. Michael Volkening is the second free throw, no good. 1 of 2 on the play for Winston. 2 guys they're missing, Michael Volkening and Monty Kella, both who were key players for this team last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hollis and Ionati back in. Pass goes off to Massiulionis, and it's another 3. His 3rd of the game.
Last year he averaged 11.6 points a game. You can tell that in one more season, his sophomore year, he feels even more confident with the ball in his hands and wants to surpass his average from last year.
And he's almost up to that average right now. He's at 11 points. As the timeout called, as Case Western had Albion trapped in the corner. And the timeout called by the Britons, and Case Western Reserve will carry a 24-17 lead and some momentum into the break there. So far, maybe not all according to plan for Todd McGinnis and his squad here, but really this is the style of play that they want to have this year. This aggressive defense, turn the team over, and hit those threes. And so far, especially Ignas Massiulionis has done that.
Very true. Seems like they're executing well on the game plan, and also the full court press really seems to be bothering that backcourt for Albion. They are having some trouble getting it to other players for the open shots.
So 30-second timeout there called by the Britons. It will be Albion basketball from underneath their own hoop. Hollis, Massiulionis, Hansen, Ionati, and Nally out there. And again, another tip out of bounds there. So very aggressive play. 25 on the shot clock here. Keep that in mind as the ball's set to be inbounded. get it in. Got to get it up court here fairly quickly. And he does get it past the half-court line just in time.
Zachary Winston, one of the most highly touted recruits for Albion. They're really excited to see what he can do this year.
Now dribbling in, kicks to the outside, three-pointer on the way is good. Knocked down by Jalen Fordham, the senior guard out of Flint, Michigan. For Fordham, he now has 5 points on the day. Cuts the lead back down to 4, 24-20. Ayanati holding at the point. Now works back towards his left. Matthew Leonis comes out. He launches a long three, just misses, but the rebound tracked down by Hollis. Fresh shot clock as Matthew Leonis drives in. They'll say all ball and that it's taken away. Now running up the court is Fordham. Now we'll slow things down a little bit here with 9:15 to play and a 4-point lead for Case Western Reserve.
Those were two poor shots by Matthew Leonis. Have to wonder if he should try to give the ball away a little bit more.
And that will be a block on the play by Nally. Last touch by Albion. And it's Case Western Reserve basketball. That is an aspect of Nally's game we saw a lot in his freshman season, that ability to block the basketball. Last year it was missing a little bit as Nally battled some injuries, but now all of a sudden maybe seeing that come back in there, that aggressive defense.
And the Spartans certainly need that this year.
Speaking of aggressive defense, by the way, into the game for the first time today is Austin Lavitt, the sophomore. Lavitt, good rebounder, good defender, hard-nosed player. As Ayanati caught along the baseline, has to kick it out to Hansen. Hansen dribbles in, shakes a defender, launches the three, no good. There's Lavitt with the offensive rebound, dives on top of it, can't keep possession though, and it goes out of bounds and will be Britain basketball. Ebeling comes off the court, and as he does, grabs his hand. I think might have jammed his thumb a little bit.
And coming in his place is going to be Ryan Lowe, the 6'11" center. Guarding him is going to be Michael Hollis, who's only 6'6". That's a matchup to watch.
Big block down low, nothing to show for it as Lavitt comes down with another rebound. Good start to this game for Lavitt.
Great box out on that play.
And we'll get a foul called here against Albion away from the ball. Davis gets called for it. That'll be his first. 24-20 the score, 8:27 to play. Robert Fowler checks back in. The freshman out of Columbus, Ohio. Fowler, nice turn move. Jump shot from the lane, no good. Lowe comes away with the rebound. Three-pointer, good. That was Jalen Fordham, the senior.
Having a great day today.
Fordham now with 8 points in the game.
And we're back down to a 1-point game as well. Case Western up 24-23.
Well, the Spartans have had some opportunities where it looks like they've been about to run away with the game, but can't quite shake the Britons here today. Nice move by Matthew Leonis under the hoop. Can't get the roll to fall, though. And possession back to Albion with a chance for the Britons to tie this one up.
That was some excellent ball handling on that play, though. Really a lot of skill.
Right, Newton will check back in. Hollis out. Newton will slide into what will be probably the 4 spot here. He'll slide into the 5, actually. He's going to play center here against the big man, Lowe. 24-23. Three-pointer. That's good. And Albion with their largest lead of the game, 26-24, just their second lead of the game overall. Comes with 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. Fowler on the outside. This is Newton. He launches another three. No good. Long rebound pulled in. It's Ayanati. Shot back up, and it's good. Offensive rebound and the putback for Ayanati. And we're tied up at 26. Far side of the court, Perry. Swung back to the near side. 3 on the way. That one no good. Rebound taken. Pass comes to the interior, and they'll say last touch on the play by Lowe. And that might be a generous call here for Case Western Reserve. I thought that the last touch was by Matthew Leonis on that.
I thought so as well. Case Western got lucky twice on that play with the missed wide open 3 by Davis in the play before. He's been a little bit cold today, but he'll probably find his touch. He's one of the best players on the Britons team, on the Albion team.
Brady Flynn checks back in. And we'll also see Solomon Wells for the first time today. The freshman making his debut. This is Ionati, the three-pointer, front rim, no good. Long rebound secured by Davis. Lots of shooting going on here early on for both teams. Davis driving in, gets it off the backboard and in. 28-26 for the visitors. Matthew Leonis. The outside, this is Newton. Three-pointer on the way. That's good. His second one since coming back in.
He is a tried and true stretch big man with a great jump shot.
Well, and he's going to have some opportunities if they're defending him. As a 3 good there, answering right back is Fordham.
Has caught fire today. Wow.
And a quick timeout call by Case Western Reserve, trailing by 2, 31-29. I was about to say that for Newton, if he's playing that 5, especially against Ryan Lowe, who is not a mobile big man, that gives Newton a chance to stretch the court a little bit more. And I think that's what Case Western Reserve is trying to do by putting him into this game in this situation, and so far that's worked out.
Absolutely. It's very interesting to see the strategy because it's easy to say just put Zach Johnson, the 6'10 center, on Lowe. But it also is a different strategy, but a very effective one.
I think Coach McGinnis willing to say, you know what, we'll see your 2 as long as we get that 3 on the other end. We're willing to secure that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a modified strategy, not quite, the strategy that you see a team like a Grinnell do where they give up short shots on almost every possession.
I think it's only a strategy that high-powered offenses can execute because they have to have confidence that their team can come back and sink those threes at the other end of the floor.
Another one for Newton. That's good. The freshman, Ryan Newton, getting his feet wet here. 9 points now, all on three-pointers. And all of a sudden now, as they'll wave off the steal, or the shot, I should say, off the steal, a foul called M.J. Barnes.
It might have been a cold start for Newton, but he has been the freshman star of the game for the Spartans so far. No one expected him to come out.
And now we see the answer here for Albion substitution-wise. They'll pull Ryan Lowe, bring Caden Ebeling back into the game, and they'll defend Newton with him. And it's a move that Albion was forced to make with Newton starting to heat up.
Absolutely. They needed a more mobile player to guard him.
Regan Moeller back into the game. Actually into the game, I should say, for the first time today. Matthew Leonis on the outside. Dribbles in, takes the jumper. No good. Rebound pulled down by Perry. 32-31. Case Western Reserve with the lead. Ball tipped loose. Still loose. Flynn on it. Finally pulled in by Newton. He's tripped up, and there's the foul.
You just turned. Hey, you didn't seal him at all.
Foul will go against Jalen Fordham.
Get your ass into it.
And for Fordham, that will be his second foul. Jack Vasilani now running the point for Case Western Reserve. Matthew Leonis. He loses the handle on it, taken away. Parker, drive, shoots, it's no good. Rebound comes out long to the far side now. It'll give Albion a chance to reset here. Ball loose again. Once again, this will be Perry. Perry drives. His shot is up and good.
Perry with a great move, using his back to block out the defender and get that easy layup.
Vasilani. Off to Matthew Leonis. Far side now, Newton. He's had the hot hand. Little lob pass in, and that one taken away.
Newton visibly looking a little shaken up now after the matchup has been switched on him.
Again, a little bit of a different dynamic to it.
Absolutely.
And tried to take advantage of it there. He knew the defender was going to have to draw out against him. Is that long shot misses. Rebound by Matthew Leonis. Vasilani driving in. Out to Iggy. Long 3. That's good. Ignis Matthew Leonis from no man's land knocks it down.
And he was well guarded, too.
Yep.
This man has range.
We saw that from him as a freshman. And as a sophomore, his range only seems to have improved. Nice little give and go there. Caden Ebeling getting the basket.
That's something that the Britons haven't utilized so much so far in this game. So good idea to finally try to move that ball more.
So all even, 35-35. This will be Matthew Leonis with the ball. He's had the hot hand all of a sudden. Newton misses that one. Nice rebound. Regan Moeller, the junior, knocks it in. Matthew Leonis may be hurting a little bit here, asking for a timeout. On the outside, three-pointer, no good. Long rebound. And Ebeling with it, drives in. Shot is up, no good. He's fouled. And Matthew Leonis is hurting right now. And will have to come out here. Well, for as physical as Matthew Leonis plays the game, he's going to suffer some of these bumps and bruises, and let's just hope he's good enough to get back in.
Looks like he's limping a little bit. Huge loss for both himself personally and the Spartans.
So he might just be cramping. I haven't seen him go over to the trainer yet. Meanwhile, at the line, shooting two here is Ebeling. It's a 1-point lead for Case Western Reserve, 37-36.
Massillon is still visibly grimacing. All we can do is hope he'll be okay.
Again, we haven't seen him go to the trainer yet, so certainly a positive sign there.
Very encouraging.
On the outside, this is Hansen back in the game. Hollis, and that will be a foul. Ryan Lowe was not happy with that call, but
it was the
he'll be
right
charged
call.
with the foul. I agree.
Hollis with a smart play as well. He saw that coming, drove in. Good decision on his part.
Well, that's going to be one of the problems I think that Lowe, I would imagine, faces when he's forced to come out to the perimeter to defend. He's just not a very mobile player. And so when you have a guy like Hollis who can defend, who can start on the outside, drive in, if he's defending a guy like Hollis or a guy like Newton in that situation, well, those are plays that they could take advantage of a little bit.
Yeah. And I think the coaching staff has made sure to try and allow that to happen by just pushing that mobile, fast-paced style.
So both free throws good for Hollis, 39-37.
Great
Ball
defensive
taken
play.
away again. Bittner. Defense catches up. He'll slow things down. This is Hansen. Good kick out. Three-pointer. Nally. Nothing but net. Connor Nally knocks it down. 42-37. 2:27 to play in the first half. Albion breaks the press. Three-pointer. That's good. Oh, they call it a two-pointer there. So not a three, a two-pointer on the play.
Still a one-possession game now, though, after that shot. Britain's down by 3, 42-39. Spartans slowing down the pace a little bit here.
Bittner back into the point, the team's starting point guard. A little space on the outside. He's shown a reluctance to shoot the three so far today, though. One of the few guys on this team. Hansen with the three. No good off the side of the rim. Rebound secured by Davis. Davis pushing the pace. 3-point Case Western Reserve lead, 42-39. Little finger roll. That's a nice move under the hoop. Davis with the shot made there, and that cuts it back down to 1, 42-41.
He's been dominating inside, driving really well today.
Bittner. Moeller. Hollis. Nice step in, kick out Hansen. Three-pointer good. Sam Hansen knocks down another three.
That was a great pump fake there. Britons did not expect that, allowing for the pass and easy 3 after.
You can see those kickouts. They've been very effective today.
Yeah, that's been the bread and butter of the Spartans so far.
Under a minute to play now. 40 seconds, 45-41. See if they'll opt for a quick and one. They will. Or instead of 2 for 1, I should say.
Nice
Actually, Case Western Reserve should be able to hold here for the final shot. It's about a half a second differential. Hollis holding at the top. And actually, Hollis wants a timeout here. He'll take it. They'll do it to get a sub back in here as Matthew Leonis will check back in for sure with 18.1 seconds left. So officially, it's about a 1.1 second differential. A little bit different than that because the shot clock doesn't have tenths of a second on it. But we'll go with 1.1 second differential for now. And again, that will be enough with the clock running after the made basket for that to pretty much allow the Spartans to run the clock out here for one last shot.
Spartans are probably eager to try to make this a 2-possession game heading into the half. Trying to, just for a momentum purpose, try to make this shot plan out of play instead of rushing one at the end without the timeout.
Nice crowd filling out here at Case Western Reserve, Horsburgh Gymnasium for the season opener. Always good to see a lot of our fellow student athletes coming here to support the team as well. See some of the baseball team, a couple of women's basketball players. They just finished their practice. So nice showing here today.
First game of the season. I am glad that people are coming to see the Spartan basketball team.
Yep. An exciting weekend here as well. Plenty going on. Hollis taking possession here. He'll run things from the point. The point forward, Mike Hollis. Over to Nally. Nally into Massiulionis. Layup is up. Good. It rolls in for 2, and that will end the half. So a good way to finish it off. Case Western Reserve, a very offensive first half. 47-43 the score. The Spartans with the lead carry a 4-point lead into the break. And Alex, I think if you're Case Western Reserve, maybe you wanted a little bit more defense. Maybe you wanted a little bit more rebounding. But the play was there and the offense was there the way you wanted it.
And they're doing what they're known for very well right now. And that's moving the ball effectively and shooting. And, of course, giving it to their star player, Massiulionis.
We'll get you some stats here as for Case Western Reserve. As I pull it up on my screen, 16 first-half points in just 14 minutes for Ignas Massiulionis. He shot 4 of 6 from three-point range, 5 of 9 overall. So impressive start to the season for Massiulionis. When you're a shooter and you're shooting over 55%. By the way, the school record for three-pointers in a game is 7. It was actually Connor Nally who matched that last season. Great start for Ryan Newton. He has 9 points in the first half. Sam Hansen, 3 three-pointers. He has 9 points in the first half. As a team, Case Western Reserve shooting 11 of 23 from three-point range in the first half, 47.8%, and that's going to be a tough number for any team to match during the course of the year.
Yeah, what's interesting is that Albion is actually shooting better from the field overall, but they cannot convert on the three-pointers. And as you said, it's hard to compete with. And that's what's allowing the Spartans to have their lead at the half.
By comparison, Albion just 4 of 11, 36%, which isn't terrible for a team. But that being said, when the other team is out shooting you by that margin, it's going to be tough to keep pace. And I think that's, again, the difference in this game right now. It's just a 4-point game. So we'll be back with you in a little bit, about, let's say, 10 minutes from now or so, as Case Western Reserve and Albion second half will get going here in just a little bit. The Spartans with a 4-point lead, 47-43, end of the first half. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Case Western Reserve University. Second half of play coming up. Case Western Reserve leading 47-43. I'm John Schwartz, alongside me, Alex Gould. And Alex, so far so good for the Spartans. A little close at times, like we said. The defense, probably not exactly where they want it to be. The rebounds not exactly where they want it to be. But you can't beat that three-point shooting that they had in the first half.
Absolutely, you can't beat that three-point shooting as well as their passing. Let's give them some credit. If you look at the passing, they have 14 assists compared to Albion's just 8. Ball movement is key to allow for a team to make those three-pointers.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw some great ball movement all game. Turnovers may be a little bit of an issue, but I think that's a little bit of a rust that you're seeing for both teams is they try to get back into the flow of things. First real game action. They both played scrimmages, but really the first real game action for these teams. And so really you're going to see some of that, I think. I think that's probably the cause of a lot of that early on here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 16 combined turnovers and a half is a lot.
Yeah. And not unusual either, though, for this type of a game. And again, especially when you see if you're Case Western Reserve, you're playing that press, you're going to force some turnovers, and they certainly did that here. So we'll see if it's the same defensive strategy in the second half for Case Western Reserve as they come out with a 4-point lead, 47-43 over Albion.
Now let's get the second half underway. What I'll say, too, during warm-ups, the Spartans looked hot. They were hitting every single one of their threes. I have a feeling that they're going to enter this half feeling really good.
Yep. And again, we mentioned it, Ignis Massiulionis, 16 points to lead the team, 9 points apiece for Hansen and Newton. And really the big piece that's missing right now, leading rebounder right now is Michael Hollis with 3. So again, that's something if you're Case Western Reserve, you want to try to find a way to secure more rebounds, find that option here, and we'll see if they can here. Case Western Reserve ball to start the second half. And we are underway. Same starting 5 out there for both teams, I believe. Massiulionis along the outside, gives off to Nally. Nally knocked down a 3 in the first half. That's Bittner. Out to Hansen, who has 9 points. This will be Nally, long 3. He's fouled. And will go to the line to shoot 3. The foul there called against number 20 for Albion. That is Jalen Fordham.
He looks very upset with the call on that one, but I don't know. Nally hit the floor, hit the hard court very, very hard.
Yeah.
What I'll say as well is Bittner, although he hasn't taken a lot of shots, he's been distributing the ball incredibly well. The freshman point guard, he's leading the game in assists so far, really doing a great job of getting every single one of his teammates involved.
First of 3 is good. Second one on the way. Good as well. So for Nally now, 5 points, trying to make it 6. And he does. So Nally 3 for 3 from the line there, and with 19:43 left to play in the game, the lead up to 7 for Case Western Reserve.
And the Spartans still hitting 100% of their free throws today.
That's impressive. That was an issue for this team at times in previous seasons. Although again, with the amount of shooters they put out there, you expect that number to climb here. Ebeling couldn't hold on to it. It's going to be a jump ball. And a good job by Sam Hansen to dive on top of that one. Possession arrow will favor Albion. So they'll get the ball back here, but at the very least a good job by Case Western Reserve to turn that possession arrow around. Full court press, or I should say the press being applied here again. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound Hollis, and a foul on the play as well. Ignis drew the foul, looks like. It will go against Caden Ebeling, and that will be his second foul. And again, that's just one of those fouls not necessary there. You pick up your second foul if you're Ebeling, and you get the same result. The Spartans get possession here with the full court.
Exactly.
On the outside, Hansen. Near side, Nally. Passes off. This is Massiulionis. 3-pointer on the way, Nally, no good. Rebound pulled down by Hollis. Fresh shot clock to work with. Nice pass, it's Nally to the inside, can't get the roll. Hollis battling again, and they will call a jump ball on that one, and this time possession stays with the Spartans. And a little bit more fire out there right now for Hollis. The message clear. He needs to be the leading rebounder for this team, and so far he's had 2 or 3 here in this second half that have been pretty impressive.
Exactly, completely agree. He's saying, he's kind of stating his claim as taking Duckett's shoes and allowing the Spartans to not fall behind on the boards.
I mentioned that. Duckett averaged 10.1 rebounds per game last year, so trying to fill that hole is just a massive gap, and Hollis the most likely candidate. You know, Hollis an interesting guy. He's actually a third-generation Spartan. His father played for Case Western Reserve. His grandfather played for Case Western Reserve, or probably one of the other 2 schools that formed it, I would imagine, at that point. So a third-generation Spartan, a Cleveland kid, and he has really made some impressive strides since his freshman year, now a junior. 8 to shoot, Bittner holding. Gets off to the far side. That's Nally with 4 to shoot. He's tied up, gets it to Hollis. He's going to have to chuck one up. He does, and it hits nothing, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Good defense there by Albion.
Great defense. Also, this gymnasium, you can tell more people are filing in. The intensity level, the volume, it is all ratcheting up right now.
Yep. And I will tell you, one of my favorite things to see is, again, Case Western Reserve athletes supporting their fellow athletes. And we're seeing that out here today. A really nice showing of some of our athletic teams out here. Again, mentioned that in the first half, but really good to see here.
Absolutely. Always want to see the crowds coming out.
3-pointer, no good. Rebound, Leonis.
Davis knew he was not going to be making that one. Grimace as soon as the ball left his hands.
Slow start for both of these teams as that one pops out. Advantage here for Albion coming down court. The shot no good, no foul. Nally gets the board, and he's fouled on the play. Foul will go against Devin Holmes.
Lots of aggression. I'd say to a degree we didn't see in the first half.
Well, again, the 2 players that Coach McGinnis said needed to rebound in his preseason interview, he said it's Hollis and Nally. And we have seen both those guys get the message here in the second half. They've been very aggressive on the boards. You said it, there's an intensity there that may not have been there in the first half. So whatever was said in the locker room at halftime must have worked.
Absolutely. They only had 4 combined rebounds at the half, and they're already at that mark.
Ignis loses the handle again. Another break here for Albion. Hollis defends again. Went straight up, no foul. Rebound pulled down, this time by Nally again. It has been a cold start to the half for Albion. Remember, they shot over 50% from the floor in the first half. 16 of 30 as a team. They are yet to hit a shot here in the second. Case Western Reserve not much better. Just Nally's 3 free throws to start the half have been their only points. That's Leonis off the backboard, no good. Hollis fighting for the board, but it goes to the other number 24, Nathaniel Collins. Full court press. Breaking it there as Holmes comes up the court. Holmes dribbles in, takes a lot of steps, but no whistle on that. Instead, the foul called. Foul will go against Hansen.
Holmes still looking for his first points of the day. Trying to get them now that he's at the line.
Yeah, Holmes only played 2 minutes in the first half. He's already got more than that here in the second, so. Holmes a freshman forward as Regan Moeller checks into the game. Ignis Leonis to the bench. Moeller, another interesting story for Case Western Reserve, played his freshman year. Has the second free throw good as well.
Definitely seems like a good decision to maybe send Ignis to the bench right now. Even with his injury, he's been playing significantly more minutes than any other Spartan.
Well, you're gonna want him to be strong for these last couple minutes of this game too, especially if it stays close.
Exactly. We're gonna need him to help the Spartans close.
Along the outside, that's Ionati into Hollis. Hollis' shot is up and good.
Now he's approaching that double-digit mark in points, really solidifying himself as a presence not only on the boards, but offensively as well.
Well, we're seeing Hollis now being defended by a smaller player all of a sudden in Devin Holmes, and Hollis able to use that to his advantage there. Nice drive in, shot is up, no good. Good rebound there by Sam Hansen. Hansen, just a smart ball player, comes from a great program in Archbishop Mahler in the Cincinnati area. That's kicked to the outside. Three-pointer Nally, no good. Free to get the rebound was Jawan Perry. To the outside, three-pointer, that's good. Cuts the lead back down to 4, 52-48.
They left Barnes wide open there. He's a sharp-shooting freshman guard. He'll definitely be an important piece for the Albion for the rest of the season.
You know, the question with this press a lot of times comes is how long can you maintain it before you lose a little bit of energy as a team?
And that's a great point, something for the Spartans to consider as the game comes to its closing minutes.
Nice drive there by Ionati. Finger roll, no good. Follow up by Nally, can't go. And he tries to follow it up again and is fouled on the way back up. So that will send Nally back to the line. He's 3 for 3 from the line today. First shot for Nally. No good.
And that'll be the first missed free throw of the day for the Spartans. It was hard to maintain that previous level of efficiency.
At some point they were going to miss one this season. They're now 7 of 8 in the game. But again, that was an issue for this team last year. As a team, they shot just 68% from the line. So you would imagine that with some better shooters out there, there's certainly the possibility for them to improve on there. They're going to put more shooters on the court anytime.
Yeah, they're going to take that mid-80s% right now happily.
1 of 2 for Nally. He'll check out. Ryan Newton comes in as the drive to the hoop. No good. Good defense by Newton, the freshman who's back into the game. To the outside now. Parker. Parker gets stopped. Nice little turn, roll in, good, right around Hollis. And that cuts it down to a one-possession game, 53-50 the score.
Parker only 5'8", but uses small size and agility to his advantage there to score inside. Impressive play.
Newton on the outside. Holmes defending against him. He gives up to Moeller on the far side. Ionati now. Long pass, good job by Hansen to corral it. Takes a step back, 7 to shoot. Gets it into Hollis. Hollis turn, jumper is up. It's good and 1. Michael Hollis getting the job done in the interior. A very different Michael Hollis here in the second half than what we saw in the first.
Hollis only averaged 6 points a game last year, and now he has surpassed the double-digit mark already. He's looked like a different player. It's been stunning, actually.
10 points now for Hollis. He has been very strong here in the second half. Really taking advantage of the size mismatch with Albion coming out with a smaller lineup here in the second half.
Albion's trying different approaches. They had a big lineup with Lowe in the first half often, trying a smaller one. Spartans still seeming to be performing just fine.
Brady Flynn checks into the game for Case Western Reserve, the freshman forward. He'll slide into the 4 spot, and Newton moves into the center role. Again, a small lineup out there for Case Western Reserve, but when they can shoot. Driving, foul called on the floor. Shot waved off. It'll go against James Bittner. 56-50 the score. Hollis now 10.6 rebounds in the game, so pardon me, 11.6 rebounds, I should say, after he knocked down that free throw before.
Excellent way for him to open the season.
Jumper's up, no good, long rebound. Hansen fighting for it, deflects it over to Bittner, now kicked out wide. Ionati tries to get the pass into Flynn, but stolen away by Albion. On the outside. Driving, foul on the play. That one called against Antonio Ionati.
Another change we've seen for Albion is Parker taking on a much bigger role in this half. He's very fast, very speedy, hoping to allow him to drive inside and get some nice shots.
Again, I think we're seeing a typical season opening game where you have coaches trying out different lineups, different personnel, different people together, still trying to feel what guys can do, how they play together.
Experimentation is key in the early season, absolutely.
Jumper, that's good. First career points for Brady Flynn.
On a great play as well. That shows some athleticism and some shooting touch.
Jumper up, no good. Foul on the play. And I think that one's going against Albion. It is.
Flynn following up his first points of his career with an excellent defensive play to prevent the Britons from scoring two.
Holmes gets called for his third foul of the game. And actually, I believe, yeah, that's his third foul of this half as well. Again, did not play a lot in the first half, and we've seen him a lot more here in the second. Bittner to the outside, Hansen. That's into Newton. Kick back out, three-pointer. That's good. Antonio Iannotti knocks it down. And that's going to be a foul on Flynn. Yeah, he knew it. Biggest lead of the game for Case Western Reserve. It's up to 11, 61-50. Threes continue to fly for the Spartans.
Yeah, they've come out firing on all cylinders in this half. It was a little bit slow, but after the ball movement was there, and after they started connecting on their shots, that lead has begun to slowly and steadily expand.
So 12:26 to play, an 11-point lead for Case Western Reserve. And the point now for Albion is Parker. Driving, step back jumper, it's good.
That was a beautiful hesitation play there. Very impressive jumper.
Not much you can do to defend that one either. When you can step back and hit that, that's not something guys at this level are going to defend. Bittner on the outside. Outside, that's Iannotti. Near side, Hansen. Hansen works it into Newton. Newton backing his way in. Turnaround hook shot, no good. Ball bounces loose. Flynn has it, goes up strong, draws the foul. The shot's no good, but he'll head to the line to shoot two.
Great offensive rebound there by Flynn. What we've seen that's interesting from Newton is, although he's shot very well from beyond the arc, inside when it comes to those post moves, he's been struggling a bit.
Yep. And now he'll have a chance. As Flynn goes to the line, he's played a nice second half so far. It is no good. So it stays at a 9-point lead, 61-52 with 11:47 to play.
Interestingly enough, looks like the Spartans put back in Massilionis, and do you think that was a smart move on their part to put him in with still 12 minutes left in this half?
Yeah, I think we're going to see Iggy get a little bit of some time on the court here, keep him hot, keep his legs fresh, maybe see him play for a 3-4 minute spurt, come out, and then come back in for that final 5-minute stretch, I would think. But I also don't think you want to leave him on the bench for too long, too cold.
Absolutely.
Long three for the big man, no good.
Looked like Ebling was a little reluctant there to take a shot. Took a little bit too much time to release that jumper.
Foul goes against Bittner. It's his second. So possession stays with the Britons. Three-pointer, no good. Bittner with a good rebound. Boy, going up against the center, the point guard able to pull that one in.
A lot of rebounding is just about positioning and will to get that board.
Three-pointer, no good. Massilionis trying to get hot again. Into the interior. And another foul call, this one on Massilionis. That will be his first. Robert Fowler checking back in. And possession stays once again with the Britons. Well, once again, a young lineup out there. Ignas Massilionis, the veteran, the sophomore, the rest all freshmen. Fowler, Newton, Flynn, and Bittner.
But the freshmen have been improving throughout just this game alone. This lineup's just looking better and better for the Spartans.
Layup up there is good.
Parker is speedy. The Spartans are having trouble defending in this half.
8-point game. Again, Albion refusing to go away. Plenty of time left here as Bittner takes a step back, kicks it out. Back to Bittner, far side, Massiulionis, good hand on him, and he turns it over. Well, Ignis has been played with a few turnovers today, and this one will result in points. Layup is good. Parker with it, and Todd McGinnis wants a timeout to talk that over with his team. So after it looked like Case Western Reserve was going to be able to create some distance, run away maybe a little bit, all of a sudden they get a little bit colder on the floor. We see Albion start to pick it up, and it's back to a 6-point game, 62-56, with 10.5 minutes left.
Definitely a good call to have this timeout there. Stop the momentum before it gets out of hand for Albion, and they catch up and tie the game. Right now, they need to regroup the Spartans. Every time it feels like they're going away with this game, Albion finds a way back. You got to give them credit for that. The Britons find a way to score when they need to score.
Absolutely, and they have really stuck tough in this one, kept up with a hot shooting three-point team for Case Western Reserve. But really, without Massiulionis on the court and shooting hot, it's been coming from a lot of different sources, and I think that's part of it. Ignis, for all the good he's done today, by the way, 6 turnovers for Massiulionis, and that's something that's a little bit of a cause for concern as he becomes a bigger focal point in the offense this season. Again, the pressure is going to be on him. Teams are going to defend him throughout the entire length of the court, certainly throughout the entire length of the half court, because they know he can shoot. So for Ignis, he's going to have to find ways to get his shot off, but also to keep possession.
Absolutely. That being said, when someone's usage rate is so high as his has been this year, it's easy for that turnover number to increase.
Almost like a James Harden type or something like that, where the ball is going to be in his hands so much.
He has to make sure to maintain his composure and not get frustrated when he has his turnovers, though, because he looks visibly upset whenever he makes a mistake on the court. That
one missed, but they're going to call a foul on that one, and Massiulionis will go to the line. Zachary Winston called for the foul. For Winston, his first foul, and Massiulionis, who started to cool off a little bit, maybe a chance here to get back in the groove, going to the line to shoot 2. First shot is good. 17 points now for Massiulionis.
Great free throw motion, great shooting touch, making this a 3-possession game now.
Always love when you get a shooter who can also shoot his free throws. And he knocks down another one. He is now 4 for 4 on the day from the line. Back up to an 8-point lead, 64-56. Case Western Reserve on top.
5 out.
Hollis, Hansen, Nally, Massiulionis, and Ionati all out there for Case Western Reserve. 2 juniors, 3 sophomores. Actually, 3 juniors and 2 sophomores. Dribble in, kick out. Far side, three-pointer is up, no good. Rebound loose, and finally pulled in by Hollis. Nice job there by Michael Hollis. More physical play underneath the hoop right now for Case Western Reserve.
Absolutely. As time was winding down on that clock, each team is getting increasingly hungry.
The top of the key. Nice lob in there for Hollis, and it's taken away. And I gave a little chuckle there, and I'll explain why here in a second. Is driving in, taking the shot is Davidson. He knocks it down. The reason why I laughed is that lob last year worked 9 times out of 10 when T.J. Duckett was down there. They were so good at that play. Well, all of a sudden, Duckett isn't down there anymore, and that lob gets a little bit more difficult going up against the defender.
Absolutely. He's an irreplaceable piece, it seems, at times for the Spartans. So that's why they have to regroup and change pieces of their game this year.
Possession stays with Case Western Reserve here after it's deflected out of bounds. 64-58 the score. 6-point lead. Spartans on top with possession. 9:04 left to play in the game. They have 14 on the shot clock as the ball is inbounded. Massiulionis driving, puts it up, and the foul called. Late whistle. That one will go against Perry. For Perry, his second foul.
At the line for the Spartans, shooting 2.
Massiulionis to the line. 4-4 from the line today. Make that 5 of 5.
He has one of those motions where you feel like he just won't miss. You have this innate confidence going in that he will hit his free throws.
Last year, 75% shooter from the line, but didn't go to the line a lot, just 15 of 20.
Players progress from year to year, though. I expect by the end of this season for that number to surpass even 80.
Well, again, you talk about him being a more, kind of possession player now than he was previously. And part of what's going to come along with that is that guys are going to give him more and more, they're going to foul him more and more. Foul on Hansen there. Is game getting a little bit tighter here, I think. Called a little tighter, I think, than it was earlier on. 8-point lead for Case Western Reserve, but at the line shooting 1-1 on the play is Davis, who knocks down the first one. Davis now 9 points, trying to make it 10 with another basket here. And he does.
Davis has slowly begun to find his stroke. Initially, he was only able to score inside with the layups. Now he's able to hit some jumpers and free throws as well.
Cuts the lead down to 6, 66-60. Ionati on the outside. Leonis with the 3, that's good.
What a game for him. Wow, he is an exciting player to watch.
Yeah. He's now up to 23 points in the game, leads all scorers.
And that's a career high for him. Previously, the most he scored in the game was 22.
By the way, that is his 5th 3 of the game as well. 2 shy of the school's single game record. Jumper tried to draw the foul, instead kicks it out. 3-pointer in and out. Rebound pulled down. And going back up, fouled on the play there was Ebeling. And Ebeling will head to the line for 2. Hollis goes to the line here. That'll be his 2nd foul. And the first free throw no good for Ebeling.
He struggled a bit in this half, and it looks like it's continuing on as he's trying to hit these free throws.
Ebeling, a 79% free throw shooter last year. Misses both there, though. Leonis with the rebound. Trying to make it a double-digit lead. It's a 9-point lead now. This is Ionati.
Pressure!
Leonis. Swung far side, Ionati. Dribbles back to the top of the key into Nally. Nally can't get the roll. Tip in, no good. But Hollis is fouled on his way up by Ebeling. And that will send Hollis to the line shooting 2.
They may have not made a field goal in that one, but Hollis is going to send to the line in excellent passing. We know that the Spartans are known for shooting, but the ball movement has actually even taken me by surprise. It has been top-notch today.
Well, the addition of a couple of point guards to this lineup has been very impressive, and I think what you're seeing now is not really any one point guard in there. We're seeing guys like Ionati. We're seeing really some of the forwards even, whether it's Nally, whether it's Hollis, controlling the passing game a little bit. Both free throws good, and it's back to an 11-point lead, matching the largest of the game for Case Western Reserve, 71-60. Kick back out. Driving. Back to the outside. Albion stalls a little here. Now the inside, Ebeling. Turnaround jumper, no good. Hansen with the board. Ionati will take it up court. To the outside, that's Hansen. Hansen 3, that's good. And that is going to make this very tough all of a sudden. With 7:05 remaining, the Spartans, playing some of their best basketball of the day, have extended it to a 14-point lead, 74-60. And Hansen has been red hot, now 12 points today for Sam.
And that's double his season average of last year at only 6 points. Although in the past it looks like the Britons kept on coming back when down, the Spartans are continually expanding their lead. They're up by 14 now, which is the most they have been in this whole game.
Absolutely, and they have played very, very strong here over the course of the last 5 minutes. Remember, it was just a few minutes ago we were talking about how Albion was staying in this game, staying in, keeping it within that 6-point range. All of a sudden now, Case Western Reserve turns up the heat. A couple three-pointers, one by Leonis, one by Hansen, and before you know it, it is a big lead here for the Spartans, and a chance now to really kind of put their foot on the throat a little bit here and end this game on a positive note and get the win in their season opener.
Absolutely, and this is the moment where the Britons are missing Corey Wheeler so much. an elite scorer for them, great from beyond the arc. And do they have a guy to really replace him and be the guy that they can count to offensively? And I don't know if they do, and that could be problematic for them throughout this whole season.
If we mentioned Hollis, 6 points, 3 rebounds in the first half. Well, all of a sudden you look down at his numbers, 13 points, 8 rebounds. He's 2 rebounds shy of what would be his second double-double of his career. The other one, he had a monster game last year against Chicago. .705 to go, 74-60. Albion with the basketball here. 74-60 the score. Fordham gives up possession to Parker. Parker driving, kicks back out. Yeah, good job there by Flynn, but he'll get called for the foul.
Davis was wide open that whole play around the perimeter. None of the other players on Albion saw him. Could have been an easy 3 points.
So that'll send Parker to the line here. He'll be shooting 2 after the foul on Flynn. Second foul of the game on Flynn. Free throw is good. Coach McGinnis not particularly happy with that call. 1 and 2 on the line from Parker.
Although he missed one of those free throws.
Coach McGinnis dropped one of those ball don't lie after the first free throw was missed. I'll tell you what, there are a few personalities in Division III that are better than Coach McGinnis is. He is, I've sat on the other end of the bench. We sit on the visiting side. I've been on the other end of the bench before. He's a fun guy to listen to as Ionati drives in and hits the layup. 15-point lead now for Case Western Reserve. Albion trying to keep within shouting distance, but that won't help. Turnover.
Ball seemingly landed right in Brady Flynn's hands.
Flynn wasn't even expecting it there. It just popped out of the hands of the Albion player. Flynn took it, another turnover there. They've been costly today. 15-point lead. Ionati with just under 6 minutes left gives in to Flynn, and he's fouled from behind. Foul will go against Fordham. That'll be his 4th. So he is in significant foul trouble now, although his team seemingly in a little bit more trouble at the moment.
Case Western Reserve been drawing fouls very well in this half, getting to the line, not converting quite as much as in the first half, but still somewhat efficient.
First free throw for Flynn. Try saying that 5 times fast. Not good.
Now 1 for 3 on the day from the line.
That one's good. Gets 1 and 2. Gives a little clap. You can tell, you watch Flynn. Flynn's an energy guy. He's a guy who's going to come out. He's going to play hard. He's going to play defense. Kind of the bull in the china shop mentality with him.
Absolutely. Providing a spark for them.
Jumper up and good. That cuts it back down to a 14-point advantage. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the show Blue Mountain State. There's an actor from that Brady Flynn is a dead ringer for. And I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head, but he plays Thad Castle in that show. And if you look it up, dead ringer. Stolen away, Albion. Layup is up and blocked. Michael Hollis, full court defense.
And this gym has just become electric. The crowd went wild after that.
Yeah, that's
powerful block.
Right in front of the baseball team over there, and they were happy about that one. So a timeout called. 30-second timeout called by Albion here, and Case Western Reserve with a 14-point lead, 77-63, 5:14 to play. And right now, looks like Case Western Reserve, if they hold on to this one, going to win their season opener, improve to 1-0. It would be their first season opening win under head coach Todd McGinnis, which would be a nice one to get under his belt here.
So this will be his 3rd year, and they've been improving every year from his 1st to 2nd. This is a great way, I think, for him to hope that they improve even beyond last year's 12-13 record. And that would be impressive, especially since they're losing Duckett.
Well, the previous head coach, Sean McDonald, did a great job with the team. As a little bit of a false start there. Since football plays its final game tomorrow, that's going to actually be a 5-yard penalty and repeat first down. Turnover forced. Our PA announcer, Mike Callahan, missed my witty banter there. Try to get at least one laugh out of him a game when I'm doing this. Hollis, turn and shoot, that's good.
He's standing tall right now on the floor. You can tell his presence and how he is feeling about himself is totally evolved from the first half.
Shot is up and good. Little teardrop on that one.
That's an excellent play there. Fordham has been shooting well all day long.
Still a 14-point game. Hollis, the point forward, taking it up court. You know, again, mentioned before, Hollis, such an interesting player. He, I think for him, part of it is just getting that aggressive mentality. Is we'll get a jump ball there. Possession arrow will favor the Britons. But for Hollis, he kind of has a little bit of a, and I say this in a very fine manner, a little bit of a goofy personality. And I think over the years, he's honed his on-court personality a little bit and has been much more aggressive, much more kind of ferocious when he gets out on the court than he was as a freshman. And that's, again, I think maybe the biggest improvement he's made. But he's athletic, he's fast for a big guy, he can control possession. Layup there, cuts it down to a 12-point game, as close as the Britons have been in the last couple of minutes. Bittner on the outside, gives off to Matthew Leonis, he gives back. Under 4 minutes left in this one. Hollis on the outside, driving in. Turns, jumps, the shot is up and good again for Hollis.
He is confident right now.
17 points now for Hollis, and a timeout called after the basket by Case Western Reserve. For Hollis, he now has 15 points and 8 rebounds in the game to go along with 2 assists, a block, and a steal.
Hollis shot just 38% from the field last year, 6 points per game, let me remind you. He's a different player this year.
Yep. Well, and I think part of it is now we're going to see Hollis shift into that primary post player role, where last year that belonged to Duckett. So now all of a sudden Hollis is going to see the majority of his time in the paint. Last year what we saw with this team was Duckett would be in the paint, and the idea was to get him one-on-one with the defender because Duckett was such a dominating presence down low. All of a sudden now, Hollis kind of assumes that role, and we reach a point where, you know, really Hollis is going to be the guy who's going to be kind of what Duckett was. It's going to get him more layup opportunities, more back-down opportunities, and that's where his ability as an aggressive attacker is going to really come in, where he's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit taller than a lot of the guys he's going against. That has paid off big time here so far.
If you look at an improved Hollis plus an improved Messilionis plus a very deep and talented freshman class, Spartans might be a threat this year.
Yep. The most impressive thing about Hollis today, and again, 17 points, 8 rebounds, he is yet to miss a shot. 6 of 6 from the floor, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. That's a Case Western Reserve team now that is shooting 50% overall for the game, 25 of 50 from the floor. They have shot 52.9%, 9 of 17 in the second half alone.
Last season, the Spartans averaged about 75 points a game. The high percentages and lots of threes are paying off. They've already surpassed that 75 average in this game.
Three-pointer up and good. That one knocked down by Davis. Davis now with 13 points. Well, keeping within shouting range here. It's an 81-70 lead for Case Western Reserve, trying to keep the pressure on. This is Hollis.
Only 3 minutes to go in the game, though.
Matthew Leonis on the outside, gets it into Hollis. Big size mismatch. Turn, jumpers, up and good. Hollis again, 19 points now for Hollis. That's a career high.
Incredible. Make it 7 for 7 for him now. Again, shot 38% last year.
Well, something that Coach McGinnis said to Hollis last year. He said, listen, you get a little bit stronger, you get a little bit better in the post, you can be a conference player of the year. He's shown that ability here today. Nice rebound there from Flynn. And again, that might just about be the nail in the coffin, 83-70.
Here you go, Jalen.
Hollis again starts on the outside. He'll try to dribble in, tied up, and fouled on the play, and that'll send Hollis back to the line here, where he's been a perfect 5 of 5 today.
I have to agree that last bucket might have solidified the W for the Spartans. After this game, what do you think the biggest takeaway is for this Case Western Reserve team?
Well, you know, I think looking at the first half and the second half, I think you need Hollis to be the factor he was in the second half as he reaches the 20-point mark for the first time in his career with that free throw. I think you need him to be the factor he was in the second half. You need him to play maybe not 40 minutes like that, but you certainly need him to play a good 35 minutes where he's that kind of a player, where he can take advantage of the mismatches, whether they're size or speed, whatever it is, where he can take advantage of those mismatches. Aggressive rebounding, I think, is going to be important for this team, but they've shown in the second half that maybe even when the three-point shooting isn't there, they can still be effective. Minute 51 remaining. Timeout called by Albion. A 13-point lead for Case Western Reserve, 85-72 the score. Well, Alex, certainly a good way for this team to start the season. They have been very strong in this one. Good second half. They've closed this one out, and it's exactly what you want to see from them.
Exactly. We were worried. I think the Spartans would be worried the whole game about a Britton's comeback because they kept on making sure they were still in the discussion. But as you said, the second half was a different story. The Spartans made sure that they were not just a three-point shooting team. They can do more. They can rebound, they can pass, and they can score inside in the paint.
Yep. And I think you're starting to see how some of these pieces may be coming together for this team. And again, we'll see them mature over the years. But when you have a guy like, again, I think a Brady Flynn who could be a really nice piece once he adjusts fully to the college game, maybe you could put him. He's your 4. You have Hollis as your 5. You have Newton who could be a 3, and that's going to create all kinds of size mismatches. You're going to get Volkening back at the point, and then you supplement him with some of these freshman point guards that you could put around him. You have Ionati who could play the point, and that's not even talking about Matthew Leonis, who has a team-high 23 points today.
Absolutely. There's a lot to be optimistic about if you are the Spartans. I love that you mentioned Brady Flynn as well, as a guy that if he gets more used to the role can be a threat. This man averaged 23 points and 11 boards per game as a senior in high school, was an all-state honorable mention, can definitely be a threat as he adjusts more to the college scene.
And by the way, it's only a matter of time before I call him Brady Quinn instead of Brady Flynn. I apologize in advance for that. It's a miracle if I've gone through the day without doing that. On the outside, this is Hollis. Hollis, the big man, showing off his ball handling skills. Gives off now to Nally. Nally back to Hollis. They're going to let Hollis work here. Minute 30 left, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hollis backing his way in along the baseline, and they'll call the travel. A rare mistake today for Hollis.
That's what happens when it's late game. Your team is up by a lot, and you start to just experiment a little too much, be a little bit too confident.
Well, I think part of the goal there, too, just take time off the clock, take time off the clock. That's the goal in that situation.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that'll put you in a position where, hey, you know, you're not in the best position to get the ball off. You get trapped a little bit easier. But that being said, the main goal there of that play is also just drill time off that clock, and that's exactly what Hollis and the Spartans did there. You want long possessions right now. Block there, that was Hansen, and boy, they'll call the foul on the backhand, and Hansen not happy about that one. A little bit of a reaction there for Hansen, has a big smile on his face now. First free throw is good by Winston. Cuts it down to a 12-point lead. Austin Lavitt will check out after coming into the game briefly. Second free throw on the way. And no good. Hollis with his 9th rebound of the game.
Pushing for the double-double here. He has a minute to get his 10th.
Yeah. And honestly, right now, if you watch what they're doing, Hollis staying in this game as he'll drive into the hoop. Nice dish off, and the lay-in is good.
Wow, the Spartans might be up big. The crowd is still eating this up. High energy plays.
I'll tell you, it's not often you see a guy like Hollis who might not only be the team's best big man, but might be their best ball handler as well. Three-pointer is good. Knocking it down there is Davis.
Davis is cooking. If he was playing like this early game, we could be having a different discussion right now.
Oh, timeout call by Albion. Full timeout, 87-76, 11-point game. 47.5 seconds left in this one. But, yeah, you know, the story of the first half might have been Ignace Masiulionis. Story of the second half is Michael Hollis.
Absolutely. Very, very exciting to see someone besides the player we expected to be the star step up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good showing all around. Let's get you some updated stats here for Case Western Reserve. And, again, it's Masiulionis who's still leading the team with 23 points. But 21 for Hollis, 7 of 7 from the floor, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He's added on 9 rebounds now to that. There was one more than what we have on our box score here. 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. He has been the real deal tonight.
Absolutely. What I also find interesting about the Spartans team is I think it's 8 players now have at least 2 assists.
Yep.
Very impressive. Everyone is getting involved. Everyone is distributing the ball.
Yep. For Albion, leading scorers are Arshawn Parker.
And all 13 of his points coming in the second half.
Yep, he has 13 points. James L. Davis Jr. with 13 and Jalen Fordham with 13. The story today is the Spartans, who can run this one down to about 16 seconds if they'd like. No fouling here by Albion. If Albion's going to defend here, they might as well foul, and finally they do. And that'll send Hollis to the line to shoot 2 with the double bonus in effect. And that will also be the 5th foul. 5th foul on Holmes, all of which have come here in the second half. First free throw is good.
Check it out.
88-76 now the score. Second free throw good as well for Hollis. What else is new? That's all for Hollis today. He'll have a perfect day shooting. That layup is up and good. Shot clock turned off. Ball comes into Lavin. They'll take it past the timeline here if they can get it past the timeline. They won't be able to. Masiulionis dives on top of it, tries to call a timeout. They'll call a jump ball instead. Possession arrow will favor Case Western Reserve. Ainati and Natalie come back in. And again, I got to imagine if they take it past the timeline, that'll be all she wrote here. Hollis will inbound it. That's Lavin who takes it, gets it past. Nope, stolen away. That's Davis. Gives off, lays it in. That's good.
A bit of a late push here by the Britons, but the Spartans still up 9 with only 5 seconds left.
Back to a single-digit game. Hollis will hold. It gets tipped away. Last second shot, no good. And Case Western Reserve will hold on for the win. 89-80 the score. And a good start to the game here. A good start to the season for Case Western Reserve, as the Spartans come away with the 9-point victory over Albion. Tremendous day for the Spartans, as, again, we have a good day for Masiulionis, a good day for Hollis. Great second half for Michael Hollis, who we're going to try to speak to here in a second. So we'll see if we can get Hollis over here for a quick interview.
But overall, an incredibly optimistic start to the season. Great, great way to start the season.
We'll see if we can get Mike over here. Sure, you heard me screaming there a second ago after his big game. So we'll have Mike Hollis coming over. Just put it wherever, Mike. You scored 20 points. You get to put your mouthpiece wherever you like. So, Mike, congratulations on the big game. I believe the first 20-point game of your career. Seemed like you really picked up the intensity in the second half. Is that part of the message coming into that second half?
Yeah, we're playing a lot faster this year. We're not as big. We don't have TJ inside, so we're trying to get teams to speed up like we like to play because we can really shoot the ball.
You know, you mentioned.
That's not mine.
We got you the wrong mouthpiece cover there. We'll figure that one out here in a sec, too. You mentioned not having TJ in the lineup anymore. Do you think that created some more opportunities for you in the post where in the past you kind of tried to set TJ up in isolation there?
I don't really consider myself a post player. But, yeah, no, it does open it up a bit. I wish he was here. I like throwing it into him.
Yeah. You know, it's your third year on the team now. Your first 2 seasons, you lost the season opener. To come back this year, get the win to start the year, what does that mean to you guys going forward?
It means a ton. I mean, yeah, we had 2 rough starts my freshman and sophomore year, and we really came out to play today, and we won our 2 scrimmages, which really helped us get going.
Mike, thank you very much for joining us. Congrats on the big game.
Thank you.
That was Michael Hollis. Final score here from Case Western Reserve, 89-80. Thank you again for tuning in. For Alex Gould, I'm John Schwartz. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week for the Bill Sudek tournament next Friday, 7 o'clock, Case Western Reserve. We'll be back in action against Franciscan. Have a great evening, everybody.